Hello there and welcome to Beyond the Limit with me, Muthoni Maina. Now we are still on mental health issues. Today we will be highlighting on bipolar disorder, dissecting on the emotional highs, including the mania or hypomania, and lows that are faced by persons with a bipolar disorder. I am joined by an intriguing panel here with me. Dr. Jane Nyotu, Dr. Rehab, and Dr. Sarah at the very end over there. So karibuni sana. Dr. Ray, I'd like you to start off or rather kick off the show by telling us what is a bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder. Mood to do with emotional well-being of a person, where they are either very low in mood, and at this time they feel they have no energy to do anything. It is also can go to the extreme of very highs, what we call the mania. Yes.
All right, maybe Dr. Rehab, you could expound further on the types of bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder it normally presents in two main presentations. The hypomania is where the person gets overactive. Actually, it is a very confusing disorder.
What do you mean by overactive?
One becomes, you know, you do things excessively. You are overexcited. It's like if you are working, you can work for hours on end without getting tired. If you are a student, you can read through the night. If you are working in an office, you can you do everything, and you may find yourself even working for many hours. You have a lot of energy. And then there is the lower one, which is the hypomania, or the depressive episode, where now one lacks energy completely. They don't want to do anything. That is where and they interchange. At one time, you are up there, you know, very active, excited, and doing all these things. And then after a while, you get down there.
So is the effect like a switch?
It is like a switch. Yeah, it is like a switch. Although there is no, you can stay in that hyperactive episode for maybe a week or two. And then you get down to the depression again for a while. And it is very confusing, like I said, because people will wonder what is wrong with this person. At one time, they are excited, they are laughing, they are working, they are doing all these things, and all of a sudden, they get down there, they don't want to do anything, they are sad, they are crying, they cannot eat, you know, generally, they are just depressed. So that is what now it is all about. There's the hyper and the hypo. Yes.
Okay, since Dr. Sarah, since those two, they're a bit confusing to the society. And once you're in the work-related field and you get to overwork or rather be overproductive, as Dr. Rehab and Dr. Jane have told us, the company gets a little bit quite excited. But when this switch flips to the other side, and you're not overproductive as the company expects of you or what they've seen of you, what happens at that very moment? Is the society failing with being totally inclusive of persons who are going through a bipolar disorder?
As it has been said by my colleagues, it's true, it's a very confusing disorder, and maybe we really need to realize that this is happening, and as we shall be speaking, we shall talk about the causes which cause this bipolar disorder. And because of those extreme ends of personality, that at one time you are really over you are overdoing things, and at another time you are not able to perform, I think we need to really be accommodative. But how do we become accommodative? You know, now there's going to be a very thin line between somebody who is intentionally doing things in readiness to fail the company, but there are those who are not doing it willingly, like now the ones with bipolar condition. I think there is need to check on what is happening and at what could be the cause. Let's engage this person. Let's know what is this they're experiencing and get to know, to differentiate. And I think with that we'll be able to give proper treatment or give proper consequences. We can refer this person to a medic, we can refer this person to a counselor, and be able to dig out on why should this person behave that way. At the same time, we need not to be very quick to rebuke or condemn or punish. I think generally we need to get to know why is it happening, and I know we shall find a solution as we move on.
All right. So, Dr. Nyotu, is there a relevant percentage of the population of persons who are dealing with bipolar disorder in the country so far?
I think globally we have 9%. In Kenya, per se, I don't think the studies have really established the people with bipolar, but psychiatry, people who go for psychiatry treatments need to maybe find out and classify what is this person suffering from, because like we've talked about depression, there are many types. And that's why now the tools, the psychometric tools, and the self-report come in. And I'm happy with the mental health bill 2020 that our president has come up with, because that one means that now there will be more attention to people who have mental disorders and bipolar. And for me, I believe data will come out, and we'll be able to know exactly the percentages we are dealing with.
Mm-hmm. So, Dr. Rahab, is it right to say that as a country we've just been sitting on these numbers, or rather have we been shunning them away because so far there hasn't been, good release on the data of persons affected with bipolar disorders?
Research is still going on, and maybe most of the research that we have is on depression. And maybe like you may already know, bipolar disorder is a depressive disorder. So it is together with all the other data in depression. But using the global statistics, about 46 million people currently suffer from bipolar disorder. And roughly about 1 to 4 people in our country have been recorded as seeking treatment. That tells us that that's a very high percentage, and at least we are coming closer to just getting a closer view of the situation the way it is. We can see that it is, we cannot ignore it anymore. It is there. So we cannot really say that we are sitting on this information, because research is still going on, and we can see that right now people are seeking for help. So we can at least now get at least a glimpse of what it means and where we are concerning this bipolar disorder.
Mm-hmm. So still on that matter, there's a very interesting research report that was made by Julie Fast, and according to her research, bipolar disorder is correlated with high intelligence. And she stated that people with bipolar tend to work more, they tend to be more work-oriented during the maniac episodes, as their minds get to travel much farther. So is that correct?
Well, I think there is some truth to that. Because when one is suffering from the manic episode, you'll find them doing a lot of things out of the ordinary. But a professional will tell that this work or this kind of, you know, working too much is slightly out of the normal. That is for a professional. But for any other person, they will think that, well, this person is just maybe more optimistic and all that. But a professional will tell this kind of, you know, work that is being done is out of the ordinary. So when you say, when she says about intelligence, you find that when one is in the manic episode, they will more likely look out for more information, they will study more, they will do more research, and so they will come out as very knowledgeable people and more intelligent people because they are actually working. That is the reason why maybe people would want to pair the manic episode with intelligence because people are working towards it. That's what I would say.
Dr. Sarah, are we going wrong as a society as we get to at times correlate the two and say, and we at times get to miss out on the bipolar disorder, and we are just out there praising the intelligence of a person, not knowing what is really behind it?
We may not really blame the society per se, because as we said from the beginning, there is a bit of some ignorance on this area. And so the judgment that we give is by the normal parameters that we have. So when we see this person is doing very well, we tend to categorize them or to put them in the category of they are very bright, they have very high intelligent quotient, and that's all. But we maybe, as my colleague has said, we need to go an extra mile and find out how come this seems to be just abnormal. It may look that they are doing well, but at the same time we need to question ourselves, why is it happening in an extreme way? And with that, now we'll be able to also see, are we able to follow up on how does this person behave thereafter? We need also to look at the other factors. What is the social part of this person? Other than being committed so much to working and all that, how is he also able to relate with others? Because you see, as much as there is this correlation on intelligence and work performance, maybe when it comes to the social life, the person could be very much away from the society. So those are some of the parameters that can be used even as a society. We need to know how much are they able to balance. And then now we can know whether this person is behaving normally or abnormally.
But you know, parents nowadays, they do not have the time to keep on checking on their kids. Maybe their kids are going through that. But when they get to see their kids burying themselves in books each and every single day, like, wangu anasoma ndo maana anapita hivi, wangu ni mwerevu. So what happens to that parent, to that child? What should be the first initiative?
I believe the counselors can maybe better offer a better solution as far as that is concerned. Yeah? Yes.
Yes, actually you realize that when people are going through the manic stage, like Dr. Rehab have said, they are really very energetic. They want to dominate. If there is any conversation, it's like they know it all. They dominate conversations, and that is why people think that they are so intelligent and like they know it all. But they are going through that manic episode. And sometimes you find if they are young people, they can walk for long distances without getting tired when they are in that manic state. And people say, oh, they are pro, you know, in activities, in exercises. But when now they nosedive to hypomania, they are so down, depressed, and they cannot even express themselves. They are, you know, they're just there. So I think that the parent need to be psychoeducated. People need to know these things, because they are, even if they are busy in their daily schedule, they are still together. They are in certain ways, because this is a kind of a battle that need to be won by everyone in the family, where they come together, they know one another, they are seeking help. But now sometimes you realize people don't understand, so they will misjudge. and they will think that somebody is stubborn when they become irritable or lazy. It's a battle that needs to be won by everyone.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So, Dr. Rehab, maybe you could take me back to the drawing board. What is bipolar 1 and bipolar 2? Or have you discussed about them earlier on?
Well, we have not called them as such or explained, but we have already touched about them. Bipolar 1 is mania. It is the one where one presents with a manic episode. Bipolar 2 is the hypomania. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So how does one receive a diagnosis of bipolar disorder?
Currently, we have really made strides in the mental health industry because we have tools, assessment tools that we use to be able to diagnose what one is suffering from. Generally, we can be able to diagnose for depression. We can also diagnose for mania. We can diagnose for several levels of, either bipolar, and we can be able to tell whether one is suffering from bipolar 1 or bipolar.
So by the use of which tools exactly?
For generally, what we use for depression is the simplest tool is Beck's depression inventory. That's the simplest. Even somebody who is not very seriously trained can use it and can be able to diagnose a client using BDI.
All right. Dr. J, on that same breath, can bipolar disorder be cured?
Actually, like Dr. Rehab have said, it's a confusing ailment and it can only be managed. It can be managed by psychiatry medication. It can be managed through psychoeducations, psychotherapy, joining a group of people who have similar challenges, but there is no known cure for bipolar. There's still a lot of research being done.
All right. So in regards to that, Dr. Rehab, how can one help a loved one who is going through the bipolar disorder?
One of the ways of helping a loved one is consultation. If you find that someone is suffering these episodes, it's always good to seek a professional. You can look out for a clinical psychologist or even a medical person so that they can be diagnosed and treated. So if you have maybe a loved one having this problem, take them to a medical, take them to a professional. The other thing that you can do is what we call social support. It's very important to let this person know that you are there for them. Let them know that you feel with them. Because in our culture, sometimes when people suffer these things, it's like they are left out. There's a lot of stigma and all that. But when you give people social support, they even get better faster.
All right. On that social support issue, Dr. Sarah, people get or have the notion nowadays to share some sensitive information online when a person decides, when they're going through the bipolar disorder 2, where they're very low and then they end up taking their own lives. So what happens at that instance where you get to go straight on Twitter and you say, I wish my friend spoke to me. I wish they told me this and maybe I would have been supportive.
Thank you for that question. I think we are lacking trust. There's a lot of mistrust amongst ourselves, both with family members and even friends out there. And that is something that maybe as a society we we should take it up. But once I'm told by so-and-so what they are going through, I take it upon myself to see on how I can walk the journey through with this person. And if I'm not able, then I can seek professional help. But I should not go maybe spreading it out and trying to share with other people on what so-and-so is going through. And then with that, there is a likelihood of somebody building trust and confidence, and they will always express themselves. Because as we have heard, these are things that we are not predicting on when they can occur. Sometimes they are triggered by issues that are surrounding this person or the environment. So I think as a society, we need to build up on people whom one can really reveal their secrets of what they're encountering and say their experiences. And then you walk through the journey with these people. And I think with that, we'll be able to build confidence, and we shall not have episodes of people feeling that they have been left out, they have been disowned. Yes, that is what I would encourage the society to do.
All right. So Dr. Jane, let's flip the switch onto the other side. What happens to a child when they get to see, or rather they have a parent who is dealing with a bipolar disorder? What happens to that child when they get to the teenage stage of life and also on the other stages of life? All right. So, Dr. Rehab, can we say that bipolar disorder is hereditary?
It is, genes are one of the predisposing factors. It's not that it is always hereditary, but sometimes it can be caused through, the genes. There are also other causes. Like if somebody has gone through serious stressful moments, if somebody maybe has had brain injury, those are other causes. Being a hereditary disease is just one of the many causes.
So, to the bottom line, there's so many solutions at large, and Dr. Jane has stated a couple of them, but still the cases are on the rise, and we have said it's something that it is uncontrollable. So what else can be done despite all the solutions?
One of the major things that can be done is psychoeducation. Let the people know that these conditions are there and how they can be helped. Let them know that there's help, so that when they come up, because right now, when we look at society, there are so many predisposing factors. So that means that it will still continue to escalate. So let people know that these things are there. Bipolar is real, and let them also know that there is help, so that they don't neglect those that are suffering. Maybe they don't stigmatize them. Maybe, they don't maybe throw them out of society, Let them take them for help. Let them consult, because there are professionals that can help them. Because although, like my colleague said, it may not be cured as such, but it can be managed. If you get the right, consultation, it will be managed. So let people know that it is there, it can be managed, and there are professionals who can help.
All right. Thank you so much. Those are sentiments there by Dr. Rahab, who is a clinical psychologist and lecturer at the Mount Kenya University. On this other side, I've got Dr. Jane Nyotu, who is a CEO and founder of Mind and Beyond Counseling Center. At the very end, we have had Dr. Sarah Kimaru, who is the Dean of, maybe you could clarify that for me. Dean School.
Persons with disability at Mount Kenya University.
All right, Sawa, thank you so much for your time. Now, guys, that's all that we had for you here on Beyond the Limit with me, Muthoni Minor. Till next Saturday, sayonara.